Space Shuttle, this is flight safety. Keep your hands on the handrail or inside the vehicle and remain seated while in motion. You are clear for launch. Have a great flight to Starport 75.
Hey, Glenn.
Hey, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Fine.
I'm a little confused.
Oh, why?
Like concerned. Do we have anything to talk about this show? Because there really hasn't been much news, right? It's been pretty quiet.
Yeah, that's why we haven't really
last couple
done
weeks
much, because there's not much to talk about. I mean, it's been pretty quiet on the Disney front, right?
No big announcements. No things launching. Nothing. No parks being ripped from their roots and paved over and redone.
Nope, all silent. But there is this new Disney Plus thing that Disney's coming out with. What?
Is that what we're starting with?
Which I've already subscribed, did a 3-year subscription to. But anyway.
Well, duh. If they had a 20-year subscription,
I know.
You would have done that.
Like, the sky's blue, too.
Just for you, Glenn, there's a 1,000-year subscription. Would you like that? Sign me up, Bob. Okay. Where do I get that, Mr. Iger?
Don't even. What?
What?
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Now, what are you going to complain about, Mr. Iger? That android has done an amazing job for this company.
Every time I see him now, I make the robot voice for him. And my family loves it because it's like...
Oh, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they make
So just for everybody, for our new listeners, that's a throwback to a previous podcast.
Well, now you have to do it. What does Mr. Iger sound like?
Oh, he's just like robotic. I am Bob Iger. This is my park.
Your family loves that, huh?
They love it because it's so funny because we're watching him and you look at him and he stands up very straight and he's like...
he's got a tremendous posture, that guy.
Yeah, he's...
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, we got to do this live. I've been checking my D23 account.
Oh, okay.
Because of that deal, right, with D23. And see, I thought you had to be a paying member of D20.
Yeah.
So let me back up. So D23 members, you can get this. You have the privilege of paying Disney for 3 years of a service that hasn't even launched yet.
Don't say it like that, because...
I thought that's how they pitched it. No, was that all right? Please buy our shows. So anyway, but you sign up, but it takes, I don't know, they have to like do it through Courier Pigeon, and it takes some time. But anyway, I just checked my account. Now I can redeem. So you go ahead and talk while I go sign up for something I'll never done.
I am a paying member, and I got an email directly to me, and I just had to click the button and put in my credit card number. So they made it very easy for me because they're like, this guy pays to be in D23. He's a gold member. So he'll definitely pay for Disney Plus.
Founders Circle. Oh, that sounds so
man,
impressive. All right. Wait, $140?
Yeah, man.
You didn't tell me it was going to be that much.
It's 33% off.
I guess it's worth it, right? I mean, I'm not going to not have Disney Plus, right?
Why? There's so much look, there's so much good content, and I really didn't even want to talk about Disney Plus on this because I want to focus on the other stuff. Just the Disney World changes, not even Disneyland. I don't care about Disneyland. Just the Disney World changes. But yeah, I mean, Disney Plus, there's so much coming out for it. The Mandalorian, there's like 3 Marvel, more than 3. 3 were announced, but they have other with Loki, and oh my goodness, there's so much coming out that's going to be exclusive to Disney Plus.
All right, you sold me. I'll sign up. All right, so you talk
a new Obi-Wan series, for goodness sake.
Yeah, but you say that like they're guaranteed to be good. I mean, they could be like the last Star Wars movie. So then what?
I know. Well, out of the prequels, Ewan McGregor was fine. Like he's like the Teflon.
You can't really blame
actor.
the actors. I mean, it was really
I know.
Sorry, somebody fell asleep at the wheel.
Hayden Christensen, you can kind of blame.
Well, okay, with some exceptions.
Oof.
Sorry, Hayden.
I mean, yeah.
At least he was an important character.
Right. He was just a minor bit player.
Hey, by the way, in that short period of time for you to bitch about actors, I'm signed up. I paid.
Look at you.
They took my money. Man, they're good at that. They're so good at taking money.
Disney has perfected that.
All right. Well, whenever this thing launches, they have a countdown. Yeah. 75 days, 7 hours, 15 minutes, and some seconds. Look at that.
Yep.
All right. So did we cover that? So Disney Plus. So just to wrap it up. So the streaming service going to start. There was some big news, like what's included, right? They just keep throwing like everything in there.
They had a whole session just on it.
And I think they're going to have that, who's that guy with the happy little trees, the painter, Bob Ross? They're going to have him on there. And all kinds of stuff. Anyway, all right, I signed up. So it better be good for 3 years.
It will be.
But what did you want? You said you had a rundown. What were we talking about?
So the D23 Expo was this past weekend, and there were announcements made for the entire Disney company. For Disney Plus, Disney.
Yeah, hold on.
Disney Plus, Disney Pictures, everything.
God, I don't get paid enough for this.
The last day was Disney Parks. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
No, I just want a little background. People may be like, "What is this D23 nonsense he's talking about?"
Well,
so,
that's what I was trying to.
All right, well, good. No, so I was going to ask the question. So, I mean, I know what D23 like membership thing is. It's like you pay them money to, I don't get exclusive, whatever nonsense. But what is this convention thing? What is it? What do they have there?
So they started this, I don't know, like 7 years ago or so. They started basically it's a Comic-Con just for Disney. I mean, that's essentially what boils down to. And they were doing it annually for the first 3 years, but then it was so much that they were trying to present so much, and then the attendance wasn't there. So they said, okay, we're going to do this every other year. And then on the off years that we don't have it, we're going to do smaller things like at Disney World and in different places to kind of fill the gap a little bit. But anyway, so every 2 years they have the D23 Expo. D23 is the official Disney fan club. And originally you had to pay money to be in it. And they had different levels. One, you could just pay and not get the magazine, I think, and you paid more and you got the quarterly magazine, which is the one I signed up for, of course.
Oh, of course.
And but then a few years ago they said, hey, you know what? We'll still have the paid tier and you'll get the magazine and you can be invited to stuff and all. But we'll open up D23 just as a fan club. It doesn't cost anything, but you can log into the website and read the articles, and because they actually have some really good articles about the history and trivia and the archives and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, this year's D23 Expo was this past weekend,
and they cover all things Disney. They cover all theme parks, Disney. Movies, yep. And now obviously Marvel and Star Wars and and The Simpsons and whatever, right?
Yeah,
that's a lot of stuff these days.
It is.
Must be a big room.
Yeah. So I've watched a ton of videos of it, and the amount of people at this thing it's insane. I mean, it's insane. I wouldn't be there. I'm not a fan
the
of
standby
crowds.
Line. Like you sent me a picture, or video, or something, a standby line of people just trying to get in. It was just insane.
Yeah.
And it was in California? Is it always in California?
It's always in California. Yep.
Yeah, it's a drag for our East Coasters.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
And that's why on the off years, they try to do something at Disney World so that Disney World can do something. East Coast fans can do something. But.
And what is that called? Like, I live here. I've never seen anything.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's usually centered around, like, parks. Like, I don't know what they're called.
Okay.
But, yeah, they have them.
Okay. Well, I'll keep an eye out then, I guess, next year. Maybe.
It's been a year, so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so they had this big convention.
Yeah, so like I said, they announced all kinds of stuff for movies and TV and everything else. But since we are fans of the theme parks, and that's what we are
we
usually talking about, I just want to cover the parks announcements and focus on the ones for Disney World, because there are others for the parks around the world and Disneyland, but we'll focus on Disney World because most of it revolves around Disney World. So,
yeah, I don't remember any. Actually, I don't remember any announcements for Disneyland. There must have been something, but
yeah, the Mickey's Runaway Train is going to be installed there, and in Toontown.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the
We
biggest.
don't have that, right? We don't have a thing like that
Not.
on the East Coast.
No, not.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. It wasn't a trick question. I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
I didn't miss it. That's not the same thing as the Mickey ride they're building at the
Mickey's
studios.
Yeah, it's the same ride.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's just not in Toontown. I mean, that's where you threw me because Disney World used to have Toontown Fair, but they don't anymore. So I thought that's what you meant. Sorry.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yes, it's the same ride. It's going into Disneyland.
Okay. So again, they'll get something first.
No, we'll get it first.
Oh, okay. They announced that they're going to be also building it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Good. I'm looking forward to that ride.
Yeah, me too.
I hope it's good. I hope it's something I can take the family on.
So we'll start with that.
Okay.
Really, the biggest thing on that is they showed the ride vehicle and the costumes for the cast members.
I like how you say vehicle.
Why?
I don't know. It's like you're an officer. You're gonna get out of the vehicle. Nah, it's your Southern showing. Anyway, so they showed the car.
Yeah, it's a little train.
Yeah, well, it should be. Don't you think?
Yeah, it's cute.
Okay. Now,
I'm looking forward to it.
Is this a scary thing? What is this?
No.
Is this one of those trackless rides?
Mm-hmm.
What is this?
Yes.
Thing? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
So it's supposed to open next spring.
Next spring.
Yeah, I mean,
So 2020.
6 months or so.
Aprilish.
2020. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's not that far away.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
You remember when 2019 sounded like it was going to be really far away? Like when they announced, hey, do you know we're recording this right now on the 29th? Or, well, almost the 29th.
Well, you are. I'm not.
In Orlando. Almost. Nearly. It's a big day. Galaxy's Edge is opening.
I know. That's true.
All right. There. Sorry to derail you. Go ahead.
No, there's no derailing because that's what I'm going into next.
I'm such a professional.
So staying within Hollywood Studios, the next thing that was announced was the Star Wars hotel that we've been talking about. They showed a model of it. It is going to be a Galactic Star Cruiser.
I can't get my head around this thing. We've talked about it before. I just can't. I don't know why. I just can't. I don't know. Go ahead.
You'll board this ship, and essentially you'll be on a cruise for I think it's 3 days, 2 nights.
Does it actually like take off? Like you go out in space?
I don't think we've mastered space travel to that extent yet.
Yeah, we build robots like Iger. We can do it.
They are. It's all going to be screens. All the windows will be screens, but you'll pretty much be in this ship, quote unquote ship, for your stay. I mean, that's kind of it.
It's not really a hotel, though. It's more like I don't know. What is this thing?
Well, so that's part of it is they want you to think of it as you're taking a cruise. You're on a Starliner and you're taking a cruise, and they're going to price it accordingly.
like a cruise.
Yeah, they will. I mean, so it's going to be a couple $1,000s for 2 nights, 3 days.
Now, is it like going on the cruise where it's going to be like an all-inclusive kind of, you go to dinner and all that stuff? Is it like that?
Yeah.
Wow, a cruise to nowhere.
Yeah.
Doesn't even move.
I know.
So strange. Okay.
So there's a lot of, one of the things you'll be able to train with a lightsaber against a remote the robot who is supposed to, I don't know how, shoot lasers at you, and you have to block them, just like
I'm sure it was for you as a kid, as an 8-year-old boy. That was my dream, like to have one of those things, floating things. Zoom, zoom. Well, all right, now you're talking me into it. All right, what else you got?
It looks cool. I mean, so you'll get to go, you'll get to go everywhere on the ship. To the bridge, you'll help steer the ship. You can go down to the engine room, see how it's propelled. So it looks pretty immersive.
So let me ask you, why? So I don't know why this makes me so uncomfortable. Like literally, like I'm uncomfortable even thinking about it. It's just because my brain goes, because it's so different. I guess that's a good thing. Like maybe it'll be really groundbreaking. But
right.
So is would I go there and like I just stay in there? Like I don't go to the parks and stuff? Would I just like is it? Surely not.
Originally,
but let me ask you to fill in the reason I'm asking.
Yeah.
because if I have to walk out in my Jedi robes into the blazing Florida sun and wait for my bus to go take me to wherever, I'm kind of drawn out of the magic of this supposed, intergalactic cruise, right?
Yeah, I don't think you are going to... Oh, no, that's not true. So you'll check in, and then you'll board a launch pod to get to the ship. Okay, so the ship isn't going to be there. All right. This
truly shows that as humanity, we just don't have enough problems to go solve.
I know.
Go ahead.
So it does say that there will be an excursion to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, an excursion in some vehicle that has screens that you can't even see outside.
Somehow they'll get you there, and then you'll interact with everybody.
Literally half my brain right now is going, that is so cool, and the other half is going, that is so ridiculous. All right.
Yeah.
So did they? I assume they have like a picture, like mock-ups and things. Like I know they're building the thing right now. I saw somebody posted some aerial shots of it or something. So.
Yeah, they have just concept art. Okay. So, and I'll link to everything in the show notes.
All right, good, because I didn't do my homework, so that'll be helpful. Okay.
So that's
cool. And when can I have the privilege of...
No earthly idea.
Oh, no? They didn't give
no. It
just
says
they're building
stay
it now.
tuned.
Yeah. 2021. I bet October 2021.
No, I think it'll be after that.
Do you really?
I think for this level of detail and
it's a building with some screens over the windows and some Jedi robes. I mean, how hard is that?
Well, it could very well just be that too. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it'll be a little longer, but maybe not.
Well, you know what? I'm making fun of it, but I do. I applaud them for. I mean, this is a pretty. I can't think of anything else I've ever seen or heard of or been to that would be equivalent to it. So sounds interesting, regardless of it being Star Wars or whatever.
Right.
I just don't know of any kind of thing like that. So good for them for being adventurous.
Yep.
All right. Did you sign up yet? Did you get that through D23?
I did not sign up for that. No.
Okay. All right.
Well,
that's some big news.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Was that it?
For Hollywood Studios, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
So moving on to Magic Kingdom, they just touched on the Tron attraction that's going to open in 2021. Yeah. It's going to be called Tron Light Cycle Run.
No, don't approve.
And they showed one of the light cycles and the costumes. So it does look in the concept art, the revised concept art that they had there. Everybody's analyzed it, of course, right, with a fine-tooth comb. It looks like the train, they're going to build a tunnel for the train that the train will go through, like essentially through the middle of the attraction. So from the train, you really won't be able to see the roller coaster and vice versa. So,
yeah, probably also for safety reasons, I would guess.
Yeah.
But who knows?
I was curious about that, though, because, I mean, that's that's kind of out of place in Tomorrowland. And I'm not saying or advocating in any kind of way to get rid of the train. Huh?
What's out of place? The train or the Tron thing?
Yeah, the train, like, passing through Tomorrowland like that.
So. You have to get through tomorrow to get to yesterday or something.
That's true. Yeah.
No, I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, well, okay. That's kind of all right. I never even occurred to me before, like the being.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Tron thing looks cool. I watched a video of that in Shanghai. Is that where it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty sharp.
It does, right? So that's pretty much it for Magic Kingdom.
Oh, really? That's all we had?
So I'm going through...
there's a big anniversary, though, right? There's no other big news about like an anniversary stuff?
No, they'll cover that in 2 years.
In 2 years?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'll be right before.
They'll introduce,
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of building anything, but okay.
Yeah, so...
so they didn't do like a big unveil of like Tomorrowland? Because we've talked before about how they're kind of like piecemealing a design refresh on that thing.
Nope.
Hey, is there? I forgot to ask you, and I haven't been there. Yeah. Is there? Do we have a new Tomorrowland gateway thing yet? Is that in?
Not yet.
You know what I'm talking about?
Not yet. Really? I know what you're talking about, but nope, not yet.
Wow, isn't that surprising? Like, don't you think they would have built whatever the thing is and then had it ready and then just popped it in when they took the old one out?
Yeah. I don't know what the holdup is. I really don't.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, bye-bye, Magic Kingdom. Where to next?
Animal Kingdom, nothing was announced, which is fine.
Nothing's announced. Nobody goes. Okay.
Cirque du Soleil in Disney Springs.
Yeah.
The new show, which
Disney
will be
Springs.
based on
Beatles? Is it
Disney,
the Beatles show?
Disney
Beatles.
characters. And what's that?
I was hoping it was the Beatles show.
No,
from Vegas.
No.
Yeah.
All new show.
Okay.
Previews will begin March 20th, and the world premiere will be April 17th of next year.
Didn't they close the last show like 2 years ago?
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a lot longer than I thought.
I'll go see that. I went and saw that. How many times did you see the other one?
I want to say 4 times.
Yeah, I think that's about the same.
Yeah.
And about the fourth one, you're going, okay.
So before I get to Epcot,
yeah,
that's where the bulk of the changes that were announced are taking place. Before we get there, I just wanted to point out that one of the rumors that we thought was, or heard, was that there would be a new nighttime parade announced for the Magic Kingdom, because there hasn't been anything for a few years now, and nothing was announced parade-wise for Disney World. Disneyland is getting a new daytime parade, but no new nighttime parade for the Magic Kingdom.
I could see them not wanting to do a nighttime parade. It just seems like
Crowd
that's probably
flow?
Yeah, crowd flow, and then you've got the whole I don't know, because the fireworks shows are so much bigger now. It just seems like there's a lot to try and cram in the last hour or two of the park, and then plus they have all these, and this may be the real reason they have all these these extra steal even more of your money events, right? Where they the park quote closes at 7 and you pay and you can stay longer. So then you'd be like, well, hey, I missed out on my nighttime parade. Just probably simplifies things by not having it. I would bet.
True.
It was magical though, even though I didn't like that thing you love so much. But Spectrum Magic was good. I like that one. It was good. Stop it. All right. So
before I get to Epcot, one more that is actually related to the parks because it's under the parks umbrella. The next Disney Cruise Line ship was named. Mm-hmm. The name was announced, I should say. Mm-hmm. Have you heard?
I did, but I promptly forgot.
It's
with an M?
Going to be the Disney Wish.
Oh, Wish, right. It's an M upside down. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not a bad name. I like that. It's better than Fantasy. I wish they should not have done that name.
Yeah.
That's good. I can't wait for these ships.
Yeah, so it should be delivered in late 2021 and set sail in January 2022. And they're building 2 more along with it. So
3.
So those 2 haven't been, and those will be completed in late 2022 and 2023. So once they start rolling these things out, they'll
3 more ships. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. That'll be 7 ships.
Yeah.
Did I count that right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot more ships I got to go on.
Yep.
Still haven't been on the. What's the one with the Sister of the Fantasy? What's the other one?
The one, no.
No, not the Wonder. Oh, right now everybody's yelling at us right now. Anyway, that other one, I haven't been on that one yet. The Dream? I haven't been on the Dream.
Yes, the Dream. Thank you.
Yeah, I haven't been on that one yet. But it's like the same as Fantasy.
The same thing. Yeah.
They did show some artwork, I think, some concept art for the Wish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rapunzel's going to be the
yeah. I like the little back.
What do they call it?
Because they always have what do they call it? Not mascot.
It just says a tradition to adorn the back of our ships with an iconic character that reflects the theme of each vessel. So
that's nonsense. Doesn't reflect anything.
So it'll be Rapunzel. I love Rapunzel. She's awesome.
I know you do. But the little the art of there is pretty cool because like hairs wrapping around the name of the ship and all. Look pretty cool.
It is. Yeah.
But no other details. I assume these new bigger ones will go out of Florida, right?
Yeah. So that's the second part of what they talked about is and Joe Rohde. You know who Joe Rohde is?
Yes.
Yeah. He's the Imagineer who was in charge of Animal Kingdom.
Yep.
And look, let's not, Animal Kingdom, it's not my favorite park, but It is a lot of thought went into it, and it's very detailed. It's very hot, but I don't know why, but it seems like it's so much hotter there than at any other park.
I totally agree. I was talking about this
and it's
with,
filled with
somebody the other
trees
day.
and everything, and I just can't.
Well, we're going to talk about that. It's like remind me to bring that up again when we get later in the show. I want to talk about that.
All right. So anyway, so he is in charge of. So Disney bought a new island.
That's insane. How do you buy an island? We've talked about this before. Is it like there's just for sale signs? You just go around in a boat and go, oh, there's one.
I guess.
How do you buy an island? First of all, how does somebody own an island? Like, it just seems weird to me.
I know. So it's going to be called. Well, the island is something I can't pronounce.
That's a weird name.
Eleutheria. I don't know. At a place called Lighthouse Point. And and so Joe Rohde is actually doing research right now for and taking a tour of the Bahamas, and so he is going to be in charge of putting this together. It sounds like it's not going to be as whimsical as Castaway Cay. It sounds like it's going to be a little bit more tropical, if you will, or more traditional Caribbean-y. Yeah. So anyway. So he'll be in charge of that, and that will come online about the same time as the Wish is delivered. So yeah, I can see them still, going to Castaway Cay and here. Maybe you hit both on a cruise, or maybe they keep that for the new ships. I don't know, to get you to go on the new ships. So,
how do you feel about this? Do you like it?
It's fine. I mean, look, the cruise it's a huge has a huge fan base, and it's very dedicated, loyal, returning cruisers. It's expensive. It makes a lot of money for Disney. It's awesome. I'm going on one in the coming month, so I'm looking forward to it. Been on a couple. I love the cruise line.
Yeah, I don't know why it bothers me that there's going to be like a second Castaway Cay, though. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And I'm actually kind of surprised at it because, I mean, Castaway Cay, only like half the island is really developed.
True.
So it's surprising they wouldn't just like keep going, but obviously some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's maybe they can't because they need to keep so much acreage as Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know.
Or maybe I got to see where this new island is. Maybe it's just positioned better for whatever itineraries they want to do or something.
Yeah, maybe. So, so that's the cruise news. So before we get to Epcot, go ahead. What were we gonna say about Animal Kingdom?
No, you gotta do the Epcot news first, and then I can talk about it.
Do I really? Okay.
Yeah, there's a reason for it.
All right. Well, strap in because it's gonna be a long one.
Oh dear. Okay, let's go.
Right.
So Horizons is back.
Hold on, let me find it. Where is it? I don't think I have enough computing power to pull up all the changes. All right.
So what are you gonna do? You gonna just list them all out? What are we doing here?
Yeah, we'll go through what was announced and talk about everything.
All right. Let's do it.
All right. So the first thing, and one of the biggest things for me, is Epcot has a new logo.
I know. It's good looking.
It is beautiful. Because
you were supposed to find that font that they used.
I'm trying. Trust me, I'm trying. I think the person I think it is can't confirm, and so
can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna keep trying. But anyway, so what they did basically is take the original Epcot Center logo, remove Center, and cleaned up the font a little bit, make it a little bit more,
a little more modern.
Yeah,
a little less 80s.
A little rounder. But it looks beautiful.
Does look good. All right.
So that's awesome. Got away from the current logo with the O had the C around it to make it look like Saturn kind of.
Never a fan of this.
That they had, since the late 90s.
Yeah.
The only other thing they have to do is get rid of the other logo, Walt Disney World logo. I was about to curse. I'm sorry. The other logo, the Walt Disney World logo with Walt Disney in the Waltopia font, and then World is New Times Roman.
God, you're such a nerd.
Why don't they? Yes, I am. Why don't they bring back officially the beautiful? They've been slapping it on the trams, on everything. Like, just
make
it
damn
official.
Logo. Yeah.
Make it one. Disneyland always had just the one logo. I mean, it's the same one. Why not bring back the original, especially for the 50th?
I never thought about that.
They changed it in 1992. They changed it to this hybrid logo, and they've toyed with bringing it back, and they just need to go through and be consistent and just that's the Walt Disney World logo. All right, I'll calm down.
Bob,
sorry
if you're listening, if you're plugged in and charging and listening.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Well, all right. So don't be so negative. You got a new Epcot logo. It looks amazing. They could have really messed that up.
They could have
been really,
absolutely.
All right. So could have been Comic Sans. Then what would you have done? Your head would have exploded.
What do you do? Why?
Well,
why even say that?
I try to make it interesting for the people. I've heard from people they like when you get all worked up. So all right. So Comic Sans.
Okay.
All right. Now what? So we have a new logo. Is that it? See, that's enough, right? Yay.
That would have been enough for me, quite honestly. But no. All right. So
yeah, good luck describing all this, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how. Okay, well, just work with me, man. I need my co-host to help guide me. All right,
I'll look for him.
So let's start with Future World. Okay.
Yep.
Future World will be no more.
Oh dear.
I know. This is one thing, but with all of the changes that they're making and the looking into the future, I'm along for the ride. Let's do it. Okay.
Why don't we do this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why don't you? Because some people may have already seen some of these changes. So why don't you just? I'm gonna not interrupt like I usually do. And why don't you just roll through all the changes?
All right.
And then we'll talk about it as a holistic thing. Because I think that's kind of the important part of the whole story is what it means for Epcot as a whole, not the individual things necessarily, but that, right?
Yep.
You good with that?
Yep.
All right, audience, go Glenn.
All right. So Future World will be now divided into 3 separate areas. There's World because they're trying to stay with the World Showcase theme. It's World Discovery, World Celebration, and World
This
Nature.
isn't fair. I'm trying to keep my mouth shut, and you already hit one of my biggest issues with this whole thing. I'm just going to get on the table, and then you can move on. It seems like they really forced this whole naming thing because they had World Showcase, and they could, because it really should be World of Nature or
I know.
Nature World or something. But they're like, well, no, we got to keep it like. So the naming I have a little problem with, but you know what? I'll get over it. So go ahead.
All right. So So starting with World Discovery. So World Discovery is on and God help me, it's on the east side, where Guardians of the Galaxy, Mission Space, and Test Track are, and the new Play Pavilion that's coming. So that's going to make up World Discovery. World Celebration will be Spaceship Earth, and everything behind it going towards World Showcase. So what was Communicore and Innoventions, that area, and that's pretty much it. And then on the west side will be World Nature. It'll be the Living Seas, the Land, or the Seas with Nemo, the Land, and Imagination.
You spit when you said that. But okay.
Okay. All right. So within there are some changes. So Innoventions West will be torn down. So that's the side with Club Cool, with the Starbucks.
Not Club Cool.
Yeah.
Where will I find some Beverly soda to taunt my family with?
Great question. But what we will be gaining is essentially a new So because they are going to use Wonders of Life and repurpose it to a new pavilion, the Play Pavilion, that used to be the festival center, right? Where you go for food and wine festival and all. So they're actually going to build a dedicated festival center, essentially where the why couldn't they have built the park facing north
Stop
for
it.
the good? Goodness.
Don't even try. Just say the imagination side or the test track
imagination side, closer to where Interventions is today, on the part that's closest to World Showcase. That's where the new festival center will be, and it's going to be in levels. It's going to be, I think, 3 levels high, and you'll be able to go up there. They'll have trees apparently, and gardens up there,
like a park on the top,
park,
right?
yeah. So it looks really nice.
Hopefully, no swings that go really high.
Let's hope not. So what they're doing with that whole side, the nature side, is they're putting in a lot more greenery. They're putting in a park. That's where they're going to have a new Moana water journey. The Journey of Water, inspired by Moana. It's going to be closest to the Seas with Nemo, so that it relates to the seas. And you'll go into this, and it's like I won't say jungle, but it's kind of what it looks like. And you'll be able to interact with water because people have never taken a shower or
Stop it.
before.
I assume it's going to be like a modern version of the jumping fountains, that kind of thing, right?
So so it'll be a nice place. So that's what they're doing with that side, which I think is going to be awesome. I can't wait to, when they're done, to go there. It should be nice and welcoming. And I mean, and that's one thing that Epcot, well, I know we'll talk about it later. I know. Sorry. Okay. All right. So then on the Discovery side, on the opposite side, a couple things.
The test track side.
I mentioned before, the Wonders of Life building will become the Play Pavilion. And then, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster is going to be opening. But the other thing is the Mission Space Pavilion, the new restaurant. It's going to be called Space 220. And the idea is that you will be on a space station 220 miles above Earth. So that's being built right now. And I don't know when that's going to open.
So it's a new building, I guess?
Yes, it is a new building. They are doing construction. I just don't know when it's going to wrap up.
Okay, and it's so it's like next to
Mission Space. Yes, in between Mission Space and Test Track.
Oh, okay. I looked over there recently. Okay.
Yeah. So, and we talked about the Play Pavilion before. That it's going to be they're going to have interchangeable attractions in there. So I mean, it's supposed to open in time for the 50th anniversary in 2021. So they don't have a lot of details for that yet. So
yeah, what we've kind of gotten out of it is going to be something of a sandbox for the Imagineers to kind of play in, right? Some things that maybe they're not committing to, or don't work on a whole park level, but they might do a little thing, something like that.
Yeah.
So all right, I'm going to interject a couple questions just to clarify. So I get world nature, because all about nature and all that. So world discovery, I would kind of get that because Mission Space, maybe a little bit of Test Track, maybe. How does discovery play into the play area, right? Discovery, that kind of stuff. What about Guardians of the Galaxy? Just a roller coaster with Marvel people. What am I discovering with that?
Yep, you're discovering how much you like Marvel. I mean, I don't have any answer for that.
All right, and then what was the middle one? World Celebration, World Connection, What's the middle one?
World Celebration.
Oh, I got it right. Okay, and so what's that all about?
Well,
it almost sounds like World Showcase, where you're celebrating all the countries. But what are we celebrating in the main part?
Well, you'll be celebrating the revamped mouse gear.
Okay, all right.
But the biggest thing is they are going to essentially, and they say, transform Spaceship Earth. So right now, Spaceship Earth tells the story of human communication.
Mm-hmm.
New narration and an entirely new musical score will focus on the moments and ideas that define our story. You will follow a magical story light that brings the entire experience to life in dynamic ways, giving each scene energy and beauty that ties the entire journey together.
That sounds rough, man. All right.
Doesn't give me a lot of hope.
Trying to keep it to myself. I did notice in a lot of the promo art, they showed the exterior had all sorts of almost like they're putting LEDs on the.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was gonna say. I don't love that either. I don't know. Nobody has said that.
That's what it looks like.
It's really this one piece of concept art.
It was actually in two different places I saw it.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. Yeah, two separate things.
I hope that's not the case, but
I bet it is.
I think it's absolutely going to happen.
Yeah. Yep. So, but I mean, all things considered, it's one of those things that it's all about the execution. So as long as, it might look cool. I mean, we had all the fiber optics embedded into the walkways and stuff. Then, that looks cool. So maybe similar kinds of things. All right, don't be so negative. It's going to be awesome.
All right, so
they're not going to change, but they're not going to change the ride. It sounds like they're going to have some sort of overlay onto. I mean, they're changing the music and the narration, but in terms of the animatronics and stuff, that stuff sounds like it's staying. And they're going to, I don't know, have like flashlights that kind of flash different parts of it. Do you think they're going to actually change the animatronic stuff too?
I do, yeah.
Wow.
Maybe not completely, but I can see some scenes coming out, and I mean, yeah.
Romans are not going to like that.
I know.
Okay. Well, what scenes to take out? They got a whole last third of the ride that has nothing in it. Just put stuff there.
Oh, I think they're supposed to do that too.
No, they better. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know.
Where there weren't any specific. It was just kind of that hand wavy. Yeah, hand wavy. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Well, shoot. So far, that's a whole lot. But are we done?
Okay. So that's pretty much it for Future World. There's going to be a new movie in Land. Good Lord, the Timon and Pumbaa movie that they had there.
The circle thing.
Yeah, they're going to have a new movie called Awesome Planet. So January of next year.
I saw recently they updated the movie quality of the movies in the Living with the Land. Did you see that news? I'm sure you did. You see all the news?
I did see that news. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. I mean, I guess it's the same stuff, but I'm glad they did it because it was looking a little. It looked a little like the youngsters won't get this. It looked a little like a school film strip kind of film, like a movie, like when you watch some documentary. Anyway,
yep.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Okay. Moving on to World Showcase. All right. The big news was that there will be a Mary Poppins attraction in the United Kingdom.
When do I get to ask questions about details about this? No,
there's not. I'll tell you everything. The United Kingdom Pavilion will welcome the first attraction inspired by Mary Poppins. You'll step in time down Cherry Tree Lane past Admiral Boom's house, then enter number 17, home of the Banks family, where your adventure will begin.
Really hand wavy because I'm like, well, what does attraction mean exactly? Is it it's a ride? Is it a movie? Is it they're just a bunch of live actors there doing a thing?
And the concept art is just the street.
It's Mary Poppins flying in the sky.
Well, no, but the actual art of the attraction, it's literally just of the street with the door open. Like,
yeah. So it's almost like they're like, I don't know, we'll figure that out.
Yeah. So
all right. I mean, in general, though, do you
I have no earthly idea. No earthly idea. I don't know. Right. I've heard everything from it's just going to be a carousel back there to, I mean, there's, it's all over the place. So nobody knows anything yet.
All right.
At least I haven't read that anybody knows anything yet. Okay. As we already know, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure will open next summer.
Wait a minute. Are you going counterclockwise? I can't do this.
I'm going in order that they have it listed.
Okay, fine. Ratatouille. I'm looking forward to this. I saw a video of. I guess there's one already in France.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I saw a video of it. It's another one of those trackless rides kind of thing. I'm like, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
Another ride in World Showcase. So what can you like about that?
Yeah.
And then the Impressions de France film will stay, but it's going to be apparently joined with a Beauty and the Beast sing-along. Once again debuting next January. So I guess it'll alternate shows or something. I don't know. But hey, I'm down for that. That's fine. Yeah. And as long as they're keeping the France film, hey man, that's awesome.
All right. Good.
Speaking of films, there are 2 new films. One is Canada for Canada.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What?
There's a new restaurant in France. Maybe you're going to get to that. I don't know if you're jumping around.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, a new...
new small eatery. Not a big deal.
Yeah, no. It's
because they've had that crepe pavilion for a long time. I guess they're making it a more formal thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
No.
Somebody really likes crepes out there, so it's a big deal to them. So don't poo-poo it.
Okay. All right. Canada is getting a new film in January.
It's a boot time.
And then China will get a new film as well, but it's they don't have a date on that one. But
that was at Epcot recently. You know the acrobats they used to have out there.
Yeah.
You know they do that inside now, or at least the day
where
I was there.
Inside
in that where you go in basically it was the waiting room to get to the film.
Yeah, where the dome is kind of.
Yeah. Right, you walk in there, and the waiting area. That's where they do the acrobats. They have like little seating set there. Yeah, but it's always been. It's not like that's a new thing. I mean, global warming and all, but it's always been hot.
It's getting hotter, yeah.
Okay, what is that? They're like, that extra degree is that is too much.
Well,
start breaking
maybe
point.
They're kids.
Okay, yeah,
That is pretty much it for World Showcase proper. The other big thing is there will be a new nighttime show called Harmonious. And the U.S. at the end of Harmonious is capitalized.
Of course, for United States.
That's what I thought, but that's apparently incorrect.
Really? Oh, what a shame.
It'll debut as the largest nighttime spectacular ever created for a Disney park. It will celebrate how the music of Disney inspires people the world over, carrying you away harmoniously on a stream of familiar Disney tunes.
A stream.
So anyway, they're going to have a bunch of LED panels, fountains, and lights and lasers.
And the us is because, the panels, they made like a big deal out of it. It sounds like that's going to be a huge leap forward in some sort of spectacle, right?
Yeah.
Oh, don't be so negative. So
that'll come out in 2020. So what's going to happen is Illuminations will end at the end of September. There will be a temporary show until this debuts next year. So it's going to be called Epcot Forever, which I would love to see.
Oh, I hate that name.
Well, but it's just temporary, and then
so it's not forever.
But they don't have an actual date.
Epcot Forever temporarily.
Hey, I like that. That's funny.
Don't you want to know why it bothers me? You're not going to ask? Like, well, Chris, why does that bother you?
Well, why does it bother you?
Yeah, a little bit of nerd history. So, way back in the olden days, there was the Apple II. Remember the Apple II? Remember the thing?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then this newfangled Macintosh came along, right? So everybody loved the Apple II. They're like, well, the Apple II, that's what makes the company all their money. What's up with this Macintosh thing? And so to put everybody at ease, they had a big event called Apple II Forever. And there was even like a theme song. Go Google it and or YouTube it.
Really?
And it was a horrible, 70s, 80s, mid-80s song. But it was just a big lie because everybody knew, on the inside, they knew it wasn't forever. They're just kind of mollifying everybody. So that's my negative connotation when I hear that.
Well, it sounds very similar to this. So.
A little bit. So Epcot Forever unless we change the whole thing.
Right.
Okay, but
so
all right.
Hold on. The last thing is so all of these plans and concept art and models will be available to see in the Odyssey starting October 1st, 2019.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I feel this podcast was worth my time now. I didn't know that was going to be there.
So they did this in California Adventure is when they started doing this. It was called the Blue Sky something, and when they were redoing California Adventure, like really doing a lot of construction and everything, they did this so that people could go and see, hey, when all of this is done, you'll get Cars Land and you'll get all this other stuff, right?
Yeah, so just shut up and enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
so just here, look at a model.
So they're doing the same thing here, which is
they should
so much.
Get everybody excited about it.
Yeah.
Basically the opposite of what they're doing with Tomorrowland, which is basically we're not saying anything.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, good. October.
So I think that's everything in Epcot.
I'm going to go see that. Okay.
So that's a lot.
That's a tremendous amount.
So before we get into the discussion of Epcot in general, the one thing, once again, another thing that was rumored that was not announced was a new country pavilion.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Actually, there was even rumors of maybe 2, right? Wasn't there some hint there might have been a second one?
There was rumors about 2, yeah. But the one that everybody thought was for sure was Brazil.
Yeah. Well, it would have been on fire anyway, so better.
So that's not coming as of now.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So,
makes you wonder, I don't know.
Yeah.
When you have such strong rumors like that and they don't happen, makes you wonder if there was some deal didn't get struck or who knows what,
Probably, because this would have been the time to announce her. I mean, they made such a big deal over Mary Poppins.
Nothing with the American Adventure, huh? They're not sprucing up any part of that or anything.
No.
Okay. Not that it needs it. I'm just
What,
curious.
You don't like our history?
Stop it. Well, recent history.
But if you think about World Showcase, new films for Canada, China, and France. Really, I mean, it's getting the Beauty and the Beast one, right? Okay,
yeah.
So new films there. We're getting a new ride in France, a new attraction in United Kingdom. I mean, I'm actually pretty pleased that they're giving that much attention to World Showcase.
Yeah.
I mean, it had become, to me, the festival place, right? I mean,
well, yeah. No, that's where all the roving bands of drunkards go.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So it's really nice to see them actually, devoting some time and energy and money to add things to World Showcase.
Yeah. I agree and disagree. Not unusually. Because I do agree. I think they needed those things. Yeah. My only concern is after 11, once that would open up. What am I trying to say? The flow of the park, everything flowed into World Showcase anyway, especially the back part. Right? Mm-hmm. It was always jammed, festival or not. It seems like it always just got jammed at World Showcase. Mm-hmm. So now you put more stuff in there. I mean, I guess part of it is it'll siphon off some people to go do those things. But just hopefully it doesn't make it even more popular around World Showcase, making it even more jammed up. Well, but I'm sure they know what they're doing.
Yeah, sure.
There's those gondolas there that people can just hop on if they have a problem with it. Right. We almost made it without talking about it. Yeah. All right, so I don't know about this. I mean, my feelings about Mary Poppins anyway. So I don't know about that. But I do like that they're adding attractions and things to do because maybe we're just not a very intellectual family or something. But when I think about Epcot with my little kids, and it's like, well, what are they going to do if we go walk around the circle? So this would at least have us a few more things we could do. That's good. Without a wholesale change of World Showcase.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm for that. So when do we get to talk about Future World? I'm ready to go.
All right, now, let's go.
Okay, I got one problem.
Yeah.
One big problem. Ready?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this bothers you too, but you just haven't mentioned it yet.
Probably.
So you had Communicore, right?
Yes.
Whatever they call them, interventions, whatever they are.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they just left Communicore? Why did that have to change?
Originally, you mean? I mean, switching to interventions?
Yeah. Like, why did they need to?
I don't know. I mean, that's a $1 million question that I have saying, because when it changed to interventions, it was, even though that's where I saw Marty Sklar, it completely ruined it, man. I mean, before it was, even though, so Exxon had a thing there, GM had a thing there, it was very corporate, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe they lost a sponsor. I don't know what the deal was, but even in between those, right, there were things to do. There were, there was the, they had the theater where you go in and with the poll and you could vote, and there was just a lot to do, and it was open. They had windows, floor to ceiling windows that light in. It was very bright in there. And it was, I mean,
Yeah, it's mostly just the name I was wondering. Like, I don't know, it just didn't seem like a win. Anyway, that's not what bothers me.
No.
Here's what bothers me, right?
What?
So the original concept art that they showed when they first started hinting they were going to do massive changes to Epcot, they showed both of those buildings gone, right? Now, one of those buildings, the Mouse Gear building, is staying.
Yes.
And the other one is gone.
Yep.
Which just, and I know once you're in the progress, but I'm not going to feel that way. It doesn't matter. But when you see the map of it or the aerial shot or, whatever the concept art, to me, it looks like a body that's missing a lung. I mean, it's like they took out, something that was balanced and I'm sure there wasn't, but do you have any thoughts? Like why it seems like because the first art showed it gone and now that building is staying, it feels like they got themselves into some corner where like, we have to leave that building for some reason.
Yeah,
and I have a theory,
money.
but
for money.
Oh, come on! How much would it take to take down that building?
No, but no. Well, it houses one of the biggest gift shops on property, and they still need a restaurant. So, I mean, what are they going to do? Tear it down and then build essentially a gift shop and a restaurant?
Yes, in a much better way. That flows better. Have you ever been in the Electric Umbrella? I love it for that. That is the worst flowing eating establishment that ever devised.
I know.
It's terrible.
They're going to redo it.
Well, if they're going to redo it, I was wondering, and I'm sure it's not as big a deal as I think. It somewhere in the back of my head, I have it that in that building is where all of the operation stuff for Epcot is. Like, wasn't that part of like the original thing? Like you could see the actual things running the park in that building.
Yeah, but it was kind of a facade. It wasn't.
Oh, was it? Okay, well, because it made me wonder, like, maybe if that was part of the reasons. Like, there's so much. Like, is it the nerve center of Epcot? And they're just like, man, to move all those wires is going to cost a lot of money. That kind of thing.
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's their.
All right. Well,
I think it's solely because the gift shop takes up so much room. And then on the other side, I mean, it's so if you take out the exhibits that they do, the few exhibits they do have behind Electric Umbrella, and just make it all one big restaurant, like
Oh, I see.
Like why not?
Is that what? Are they expanding that? Do we know, or are we just guessing?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, they are.
I guess that makes sense. Okay, what about those little flying triangles? Do they stay?
No, those should be. If they're not gone already, they're going to be gone very soon.
Penn Station, I guess, goes away.
Yes.
Maybe. All right.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, how do you feel about this overall? Because, I mean, this is and I hope I'm not saying something that people don't know, but generally, you're not one for a lot of change. Just generally saying. How do you feel about this? This is a massive amount of change.
That's really
yes, it is. It is totally true. It's totally true. I have 80 episodes of a podcast that I can
Oh my God, you're so silly. No, if the change is done properly, I have no problem with it.
Okay.
So that's where this falls for me. I think. Look, the reality is, Epcot as it exists today is. It's not the Epcot that I grew up loving. And it's not, it doesn't, it has so much more potential that it's not reaching right now. Right. So look, we've gone a long way. When Epcot opened, the future was Disney presented a future that was bright and, positive. And that's where, tastes were in the early 80s. And, we thought the future was going to be great, right? Turns out the future sucks.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
But no, the reality is if they went in today and said, okay, hey, you know what? We're going to bring back, whatever, Horizons, right? Well, all right. As much as I would love that, the reality is we're not in that future. And the future is, we don't, if we tried to put a positive spin on the future, everybody would laugh at it, right? Mm-hmm. So we're not in that environment anymore. So I'm not, I'm not advocating taking a wrecking ball to everything, but I think that the changes that they're planning, it keeps the pavilions, pretty much as they are, but the play pavilion, okay, let's add that. But the cosmetic changes that they're going to make, I think it will give it a different feel. And it, like I said a little bit earlier, it'll be more welcoming. It'll be a place where you'll want to go. It's not all concrete, right? Right now it's all concrete. That's what you think. Right. That's what you think of. But that nature side, if there are, a place you can go in and water's flowing, and it's like a park on that side, and they have this 3-story festival center that you can walk up and get a different perspective on Epcot and maybe get some really cool pictures. I think they're, doing the best that they can with what they have. Mm-hmm. I have no problem with any of these changes, quite honestly. I can't think of anything. My biggest pet peeve, of course, is Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster.
Yeah.
Of course I'm going to go on it. I mean, I love roller coasters, and I want to see it. But out of everything that they're doing, that's the most out of place thing. And so, but you know what? All right. I understand you need to do something. And, I mean, what were you going to do with the universe of energy?
Right.
So anyway, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we talked before, Epcot's always been my favorite park. Just that's the one I fell in love with as a kid, right? So, but it's been a shadow of itself for so long. And, the thing that I wondered about was what kind of reason for being would they give the park, right? The other three parks have a pretty solid theme to them, that kind of defines who they are. Epcot's always struggled with losing its theme and not really having one. Yeah. I like this because I think it embraces sort of this very loose theme of us. Jokes about the Harmonious show aside, I think it is about humanity overall, which is what Spaceship Earth was always about. So it's taking that theme and building on that, right? So the discovery part of being human, the connected part of us, as people being connected, and the nature, the makeup of our world, all that stuff, and of course World Showcase. I think they've done a really good job from what they've shown of giving the park its own personality without doing something that's so like on the nose of it's the science park or something like that. You know what I mean? I think they've given it, it's a really loose theme, but it really fits. I think they've done it, with the change, aside from my architectural balance issues of only one of those buildings going, I'm really happy that they brought in the nature side. And as much as of a tech nerd and science guy I am, that's certainly something you could always feel in Future World. It's like, well, I guess we've just bulldozed all the trees down in the future, because, that's what Epcot felt like sometimes in that space. And so, I mean, overall, I'm really pleased with it. My worry is, sometimes reality doesn't match up with the concepts, because real world budgets and timing come in and sometimes dilute some of the plans. So I hope that doesn't happen here. But overall, I think it's really great. We've joked before about it being now the festival park, but you know what? I went there a few weeks ago, and we're between festivals at that time, and I kind of missed it. I mean, there was like no event going on, and it was like, and it wasn't something I consciously thought about, but I'm like, it seems kind of dull here, and I'm like, there's no festival going on. So I've kind of gotten used to it being that place. So, and as much as I don't know about Mary Poppins, whatever, I like that they're trying to bring more of Disney in, to have more of that. So overall, I don't know, I'd say a solid A on what I've seen so far. Execution is important. We'll see where that goes.
Well, and Mary Poppins fit, and yes, this is one change that I will bring up that I don't like, but Mary Poppins fits into the United Kingdom better than
of course.
Frozen fits into Norway,
right.
And Remy, even Ratatouille fits more into France than, So I'm interested to see what they're going to do with that, and
No, this will break your heart. Last time I was there, we were walking around World Showcase, and my 8-year-old said, "Oh, this is the Frozen section." Yeah, as we walk past.
He's right.
Past Norway.
He's right.
Yeah. Well, I know he's right, but that's what it looks like now. But that's anyway. Let's not go negative with that. I would say there's not a whole lot they could do about it. It's a bit of a shame that that Journey into Imagination is on the side it is, because it really belongs over on the Discovery side, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe. And I didn't hear any announcements about that, and didn't hear it in your rundown. Is there, which kind of surprises me.
Well,
Yeah, and so that makes me worry a little bit in that it doesn't fit with the new theme, and nothing's been said about it. So, what does that mean?
Well, that's a lot of the concern that a lot of people have. That's part of what I've read on, Diz Twitter and everything else, right?
Yep.
Is they didn't mention imagination at all. Like even to say, hey, Figment it's like,
because they didn't want to dilute all this great news with
right.
Whatever they have some plan. They're just not saying yet.
They do.
But you know what? Again, given its current state of a ride,
yeah. Okay. I know. I hate to say that, but I mean, just depending on what they replace it with. But
they're just going to broaden the DVC the waiting area. The little that thing. It's just be a bigger version of that.
Try to kill
Can they just lift up that whole building and move it to the other side and then do that? That would have been cool. Anyway, what's the other thing I was going to say? Oh, you know what I really appreciated, and I'm sure you noticed. I would imagine you did. So I watched a video of. I guess it was a video. It looked like it would just play on a loop there in the theme park area of D23, kind of like showing what was coming for Epcot. Yeah. And it was like a concept video, kind of animated, right? And I loved that the colors and the style and the theme and the feel was completely stolen from the very original, the most famous of the Epcot concept art, all the people walking around in their suits and high heels in front of Spaceship Earth. You know what I'm talking about? Did you notice that the video had the same color palette, the same style, the same?
Actually, I don't think I watched the video.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. You gotta go YouTube that. Anyway, so it looked like they had on some sort of semicircular screen or something. It looked like you probably could walk in and watch this thing that was probably on a loop or whatever. It's kind of what it looked like. Oh, you got to see that.
I know what you're talking about. I just never watched the actual. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't.
You saw like pictures of it.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah. Watch it. Anyway, I thought that was and because I liked it not only just stylistically, but because no matter how they end up in execution, it feels like at least finally with this park they're trying, right? They're trying. They're understanding what its history is. They're trying to give it a personality of its own, and so huge applause for that. I think. Yeah. We'll see where it ends up, but I don't know. I'm really happy about it. I think overall it looks pretty A+ to me.
Yep, me too.
So when do we get all this? It's like next week. When does all this open?
Yeah, no, it opens over time.
Yeah,
but by 2021, that most of it will be open.
Yeah, that's going to be the hard part. I think is seeing especially when they start ripping up Future World is seeing it in the in between state, but that'll be fun to look at. I'm really excited about it because I've always loved it. I remember the thing I was going to mention about the trees. I love how open Epcot is, and that you never Magic Kingdom. Of course, you love center of so many things, but it does feel awfully crowded sometimes. And Epcot, almost except for the very back of World Showcase, I never feel like it's really crowded there.
Yeah.
So this should even help that. No, the thing about the trees. I was talking with a friend of mine because all the concept art they show all the huge amount of trees that they're going to put in that central area. Right,
yeah.
Which it needs because I think is because it just gets baked with the sun in that area, which is why one of the reasons they put up those triangles. I think was to try and make a little bit more shade. They don't do anything, but I thought. So I was thinking, at least they put some more trees there, which would be really nice. And this friend I was talking to said, "But isn't that your complaint about Animal Kingdom? Is that there's all these trees and it kind of holds in the heat?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I didn't think about that." So I don't know. I don't know if it'll be the same thing or not, but. I like it either way. From the pictures, it looks nice. Yeah, it's all about execution though, because the concept art shows there's so many trees and everything, but you worry somebody goes scratches their head and says if we only put in half the number of trees, we'll save $5 million, and then somebody goes, oh, that's a good idea,
Yep.
And then we don't get as many trees, so we'll see.
Yep.
How do you feel about the Moana thing? Because I don't know why, but I would have thought that would not have set well with you.
Why? No, it's fine.
Because it's Moana and
I like Moana.
More. I don't know why I thought it would bother you, but you cool with that?
Sure.
Because Moana and Epcot don't really feel like they go together.
No, but it's a different Epcot. It's and that's kind of my point is, from this point on, you kind of can't compare new Epcot to old Epcot. They're drawing a line and saying, okay, guys. This is it. This is how we're going forward. And so it's like, okay, You're not tearing it down. You're not, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
I can deal with that.
Mm-hmm. I'm happy about it. Looks good to me.
Yeah.
All right. Whew. That was a lot of news, man. I didn't think we had anything to talk about.
Yep.
All right. Is that a show? We wrapping it?
It's a show, yes.
Okay, you don't want to hear about my my little plans to go to Galaxy's Edge? You want to hear about that?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to hear that. Sure.
Did I tell you about that? I figured out a hook. Because remember we were talking before, and we're like,
yeah.
Well, how, it's going to be years before I get to see Galaxy's Edge, because I'm not going to go stand in line and go see it, but I figured out a way to do it.
Okay.
I'm going to solve it with money. Which
well, of course. Well, how else, Christopher? How else would you ever solve anything?
No, I feel this is pretty clever. So, I won't say why, but there's a reason that we want to go do something at least slightly special. And okay. I totally poo-pooed the droid building thing. What do they call it? Droid workshop droid?
Sure.
What do they call it? Droid building?
Droid building, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever that is. Because it's like $100 for a stupid little toy thing, but it's going to be a special occasion, so I want to do something nice. And then what I realized was, so to do that, the droid build. I'm sorry to bore you. Just hang on a second.
No,
so you're yawning in the middle of my.
I'm not yawning. I literally just took a deep breath.
My monologue. Anyway, so did you know you have to book that droid building thing?
Of course.
Like, I didn't know you had to do that.
Yeah, man.
So anyway, I figured out. Well, I'll book that. And then, obviously, I have to be able to get into Galaxy's Edge to go do that. Mm-hmm. So then that'll be my free pass to get in.
Okay.
I won't be able to do the rides and stuff, because I'm not going to wait 6 hours to do that. But
you think it's going to be 6 hours? It's not.
Maybe not. I told you I was checking fast passes for not the very first weekend, like not this weekend. I don't know when you're going to publish this, but not the opening weekend, but the one after. And there's like tons of fast passes for rides and stuff, which shocks me. But maybe people are staying away, or it's back to school time and stuff. So who knows? Well,
it's a combination of all that, and I think that cast members are blocked out for a while now after today. So I think that's adding to it.
Yeah, it was hard to get a spot for the droid building, though. I couldn't go the day I wanted. I had to go.
Well, it's a small place.
Later.
It's not. It's a small place. So I mean, that doesn't surprise me either.
Yeah, I know. Yep. But you want to know another stupid thing that you can mock me about?
Sure.
So we're a family of I'm sure you do. So we're a family of 4, right?
Yes.
So at the droid building thing, you can only take one person in with you, which there's at least 2 people in my family that would feel left out. So we're going to have to build 2 droids so that everybody gets to go experience it together. So silly thing is going to cost me $200. But I'm going to have a matching set of a BB droid and an R2 droid. No, I'm saving the lightsaber thing. No, nothing. Just $200. What's wrong with that? I'm saving the lightsaber thing for you, so you better not wimp out.
No, I'm not going to wimp out. We need to talk about that. We need to talk about plans for that, because I've already. I mean, I have a big project coming up for at work, and we already have like dates and stuff on the calendar for testing times and everything else, and I've already I've put in for the week of the cruise, and we went around my schedule to do some of this stuff, and then the other I have
you're so important,
like Thursday and Friday of leading up to the Rolex 24, but I need to make sure that we're really doing stuff.
Yeah, okay.
So we need to talk about that.
We'll talk about it off air, but yeah. I'm good with that. All right. Anyway, so I'm going to go do that. So by the time we do the next show, I should be able to do a little trip report.
Cool.
I liked your trip report in the last show. That was the last show, right?
Yeah, it was.
I like that.
Yeah, I like your trip reports way better.
It's nice for a change.
Way better.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure. All right. I'm going to go set a countdown clock to sometime in the future for my new Epcot. So get on that. Okay, man.
All right.
Well, until next time.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of Starport 75. Follow Chris on Twitter and Instagram at CBGray, and Glenn on Twitter and Instagram at DizWiz. Follow the show on Twitter and Facebook at Starport75 and Instagram at TheStarport75. For all things related to the show, including show notes and links to connect with us, visit us at starport75.com. This episode is sponsored by ParkLeap. Do you hate waiting in lines for your favorite rides at Disney World, Universal, and Disneyland? Of course you do. Everyone does. Parkleap tracks current wait times for attractions in real time, analyzes them, and gives you immediate guidance on what to ride now and what to skip for a shorter wait later on. Parkleap saves you time so you can do more, see more, and ride more. Many theme parks provide their own apps, which is great, but they only report the times. You only get information, you don't get guidance. Is that 40-minute wait good or bad? Parkleap can tell you. Parkleap also includes an interface that is clean, quick, and easy to use. Many vacationers travel to multiple theme parks. Now one app does it all. Whether you're a local resident, an annual pass holder, or travel great lengths once a year or every few years, you want to make the most of your time and money. This is the app to get to help you do that. Get Parkleap in the Apple App Store. And thank you to Parkleap for sponsoring Starport 75.